rooted in community and built for you. This is the You plus TFCU Podcast.
Welcome to the You plus TFCU Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Israel.
I'm your host, Terah, and today we have a special guest, someone I call my dear friend. This is Sarah Roberts. Sarah, thanks for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. Can you tell us, Sarah, what is your title and what you do here at TFCU?
Yes, I'm Sarah Roberts, and I'm the Community Engagement Manager at Tinker Federal Credit Union, and I oversee all of our community initiatives, whether it's parades, festivals, really anything you can think of in the community. That is what my team does. So.
Awesome. Well, we did do some homework. I hear you from Lone Grove, Oklahoma.
Yes.
And you grew up on a farm. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so from small town of Lone Grove, where there's only like a few stoplights, and I graduated with about 90 people, and grew up on a farm with, my parents had over like about 180 acres, and just fishing and hunting and being out. You know, back then when you're young, you're kind of like, you're not around all your friends because you are so far out in the country. But it's a blessing, and I look back at it and I'm like, I wish I would have treasured that more while I was there when I was that age, because just growing up, being able to go fishing and, you know, run the land and get on a four-wheeler, do that with my family, it was a lot of fun. And so just a country girl at heart, in the city now, but yeah.
Very nice. I mean, I don't even know the definition of a farm, but I have 2 chickens, right? And obviously that's part of our community, right, at our home. Very interesting because, again, I think, you know, just driving, you know, country roads, it's a different feeling. But I'm sure that work ethic, that farm work ethic translates over, right, to what you do and for the community, right? Speaking about community, of course, we can think about it as like a unified body of people coming together, partnering up, right? And I opened up with that because, again, I'm going back to the example of the farm, and you need that community, right, to make things happen. So can you tell us, without stirring the pot, right, why do credit unions show up more in the community than banks?
I believe that we just, first of all, we're a not-for-profit, and so we're able to give back through our higher dividends on our accounts and lower dividends on our loans. And so just being a not-for-profit also sets us apart from others. We are member-owned, so we have to be really responsible with our members' money and, you know, invest in what we're deciding, what we choose to do is important to us, because we want to make sure with our members' money that we are using it correctly.
Right. Good stewards.
Yeah, good stewards of their money. That's a good way to put it. And so, but I would say the difference between us being out in the community bank is we're just very community oriented. You're going to see like people helping people is our motto in the credit union world. And I truly feel like we live that out here at Tinker Federal Credit Union because we are in the community. We do over 400 events, community, do a lot of events, and it's fun, it's hard work, but it also separates us apart from those other financial institutions because you don't always see those other financial institutions supporting those nonprofit organizations or out at those parades, giving out candy and just kind of interacting with people. And it's a lot of fun. It shows that we are invested in the community. We're here to stay, but we really do care about where we're at. And that's just not in the metro. That's everywhere. We are everywhere, you know, whether it's in Tulsa, and now we've expanded to a new market in Texas. And so you're going to see us out in the community there too. It's just something that we have put at the forefront of our organization that's really important for us, and our CEO's on board with it, and everyone else is. So
awesome.
That's what I think is cool. Israel mentioned, you know, you growing up on a farm and growing up in the country, and now you're here. But we have members everywhere. I mean, we have members in the rural parts of the state, here in the city. How does your team determine, when you're viewing community, is it one group of people as a whole, or are you able to cater to some of those more rural communities and meet them where they are?
That's a good question, because I love rural communities because that's where I grew up. And so I'm always trying to look for opportunities in those smaller towns to see how we can play a role, whether it's in Ada or Seminole, and going to Enid. You know, there's just different communities that I think of that really have, more farming or more land and things like that, but they also have community events too. And so we are just looking at where is a good place to get our brand exposure. And that's not just in the metro, that's everywhere. Everybody needs a bank account and needs a financial institution. And so we don't show favoritism in any market. We're willing to go anywhere.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, everyone needs love, right? No matter how big or small you are. And of course, the feel for community, us being out there is different because I've been out and about with my family. I just forgot that we sponsored a community event or at an art parade or whatever it is. And I'm like, hey, TFCU. And it's different whenever you see someone out in the community because it's very easy to be like, we are involved in the community, but whenever you're seeing them in person, it's a different feeling, right? And I feel that the membership appreciates that, right? And I definitely, as a TFCU employee, I feel proud. I'm like, yeah, we are there, right?
Yes. And it's also, I would like to add on to that, you can talk the talk, but do you walk the
Exactly.
walk, kind of saying that. And I feel like we do walk that walk. Other things that I think of that are a lot of fun are during November, we do a community give back where we go to a local grocery store and we hand out gift cards. And our CEO goes with us and we hand those out. And that was probably one of my most favorite experiences here, during my time with the credit union because there were a lot of tears shed, I think from both sides, lots of hugs and people just really grateful and thankful. And being able to do that, you're not going to see that at other financial institutions. No. And being able to do that, it meant for both sides. It was heartwarming for us, but for them, it was more than that. Some people really, that was their last meal, like before they ran out of money or, different things like that. So we heard it all. And that was probably one of my favorite things. But we also do the state fair. And I think everybody really likes going to the state
we
fair.
have to get in shape before that. That way we can kind of count those calories, right?
Yes, we eat all kinds of food, and we go out there and we sponsor the state fair every year. And that's a big event for us, a lot of exposure and a lot of fun, too. And we have our name printed on all the tickets, and people bring it. They're like, your name's even on the ticket. And so it's just funny just going out to different events and hearing people be like, you're everywhere, or that's my financial institution, I love hearing that. It's a fun thing to hear, and it shows that we're doing what we are supposed to be doing, being in the community.
It's fun to hear. I'm a member.
Yes.
Like I'm a proud member, and then when people are with their friends, they start saying, well, I'm a member. Why don't you have an account? Like, do you bank with Tinker? And so it's fun to kind of have that pride moment.
Or when they get in competitions about who's been a member the longest.
Right. Yeah, like I even think about whenever, I think we all have experienced this, right? But you're busy, you're at grocery store, you see someone and you're like, oh, I don't want them to see me. But whenever we see TFCU out in the community, we do hear a lot of stories like that is my financial institution, like I bank there, and of course it fills us up with joy because again we see that feedback. And we see that in-person feedback is much more powerful, right? So again, talking about the community and partnering up with them, it fills us with joy, for sure.
For sure. I think going back to Sarah's story about the gift cards, I got to go with you last year and do that last fall. And it was, like you said, it was very, very heartwarming. But it's really cool to also see the branch employees.
Right.
I had the privilege of doing that in Ada last year and seeing them see members who come in every week and who are, oh, well, she's a member. Let me go talk to her. Let me go check on her. Or I haven't seen her in a while. And I'm sitting there as a, obviously not a branch employee. And I'm thinking, everyone, but everyone is so proud to have that connection back to the brand. Can you, Sarah, talk on the teamwork? I know you obviously have a community team, but can you talk a little bit about the teamwork of the credit union as a whole and how you get other people involved when we're hosting things?
Yeah, we couldn't do what we do if we didn't have volunteers. I mean, obviously, we have over 900 employees at the credit union, and I really thank probably a quarter of them, if not more than that, are volunteering at events because we really couldn't do. I mean, like I said, we do over 400 events. So that's a lot. We need help. We have a team of 5. And so we need all the volunteers we can get. And so it's just kind of a teamwork thing. You know, we have other business units that are helping volunteer that are coming to us. And then we also have people from the branches, employees from the branches coming and volunteering. We work closely with business development and real estate lending, all the lending team we work really closely with. So it takes a whole team to do what we do. We couldn't do what we do without those people, whether they're volunteering to walk in a parade or they're helping set up a booth at an event because we have 4 other events that weekend. So we need them to help, you know, and there's people that take the lead and really help with that. And we truly appreciate that and value them and want to, you know, show them how much we appreciate them because without them, we couldn't do it.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think of, you know, whenever anyone from the outside looks at an organization, one of the number one questions that come up is like, what do you do for the community? How much are you involved? And whenever you see that as an employee, right, I think kind of like teamwork, I'm not in the marketing department, but I feel very much like, okay, this is a team effort. Like, hey, when it's my time to, you know, sow these seeds out in the community, I want to be there. And I couldn't tell you how many stories about former employees and current employees that do go out. They're like, wow, I love this, right? It's better to give than receive, right? And they definitely feel that and experience that. And of course, that's what drives us.
Yeah, we're fortunate enough to bring smiles. We bring the smiles to people's faces. I feel like I always tell my team, we are the people that, you know, really get to see the good and like hear the good. And so we always want to share that with others and tell them, you know, and thank them and say, hey, this is what we heard. And whether it's about a branch or they're like, my favorite employee works at this branch. And, you know, make sure you're telling that person because they love seeing them out there too, just as much as they love seeing us.
You know, behind the scenes details, I think people really don't get that view, but you know, we're very, very thankful for you sharing the details and what goes on behind, right?
Yeah, of course.
As far as switching gears, can you tell us, because I know we work with business partners, right? Can you tell us what are some benefits for those out there that are considering being a business partner with TFCU?
We offer business partnerships. They're free at no cost. They're to nonprofits or for-profit organizations, really anyone. It can be a church, it can be a school, it can be a business, large, small. And basically what it entails of is we have free financial literacy workshops that people can utilize those for their employees or the people that they serve, such as their volunteers. We also have a mobile ATM unit that we can take on site, different things like that, which is another give back that we do, has no surcharge, but it also offers accounts to anybody who is a part of that organization, whether it is a person that is a member of that organization, a teacher, a student, or someone that is just an employee of that organization. And so there's different benefits for that. We offer all of our products and services to them for them to become a member, and they can get $25 in a checking and $25 in a savings. And there's an account that is wonderful that earns interest called Click Checking. And so just a lot of different perks that come with that. We have free financial advisors that will sit down and help them with their retirement planning and such, and free financial coaching if somebody needs help with budgeting and budgeting tools and writing out if you're like me and you have a shopping problem. I actually went to them and that sat down with them, and they confirmed that I have that problem.
Problem confirmed.
Yes, I've gotten not any better, but I am very self-aware now of my bad habits. But that is something they'll do. They'll sit down and help you put together a budget and tell you how to eliminate some costs and stuff like that. And that's free. And I'm always advocating for our business development team and business partners and trying to get on more partners, because the more the merrier, and that helps grow the credit union too. And it just helps when your employees are financially aware and they feel good about their finances, I really think it helps at their job as well too. Helps them grow within their career too. You're not stressed out about finances and worrying about all that while you're at work and whatnot. And if you're bringing in those free financial workshops, I mean, they're fun. They're not boring. They're a lot of fun.
They are fun.
Some people are like, I don't want to sit through this. And but when they come, they're like, okay, actually, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, can you come next time and teach another group, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that's part, again, when we opened up as far as community, partnering up. I think a community, another cool aspect about that is that we are in it through the good, through the bad. Hey, I need help. Let me lift you up. And I think we meet people where they're at.
Exactly.
As a business development officer yourself, Terah, would you agree with that? What would you add to that?
No, I would agree with that. And I think Sarah's team on the community side and the business development team have done a great job of working together. There's a lot of events that our business partners host that are community oriented. For example, like a health fair or a like wellness community event that may be hosted by one of our business partners, but the doors are open to the community. We've got a great team where we can come in and say, hey, everyone that attends this event may not be a member of this partner organization because they're welcoming the community in. Is this something that makes sense for your team, for us? How can we really work together? And we've done a great job of that. It's really appreciated when I have a partner that's coming and saying, hey, we're hosting like a chamber of commerce, for example, we're hosting a festival, a car show, anything like that. Sarah's team has been really great and willing to evaluate those opportunities and see if it makes sense for the community team since it is more community facing. So we're fortunate. We kind of work in tandem. We do different things, but we definitely all have the same goal, which is to continue to grow the credit union.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, Sarah, for our viewers and listeners, what would be one key takeaway that you would give regarding TFCU in the community?
This is a really good question. I think one key takeaway is just we really value our members, but not only our members, but we also value the community as a whole. We're all about giving back, and our communities we have so many members in our communities, and they're coming to the credit union, and we want them to know that we support everyone. We big, small, any community, we're here to stay. We are a credit union that is very well established and very well involved in every community. And we plan to stay that way and just continuously growing and seeing how we can help people, like you said, meet them where they are, but also just put smiles on their faces and help and bring that excitement to them about the credit union, because it's not always fun. Let's be honest, financial institutions and banking isn't always the funnest thing to talk about, but I think having a community team brings a lot of fun to it. So
you mentioned the credit union is here to stay. You've been here a while. Feels like you're kind of here to stay. Tell us kind of your path of how you got to this specific role now.
Yeah, so I've been here 6.5 years, and I started as a business development officer. I did what you did, and I loved it so much. That was one of the funnest jobs I think I ever had. I just love relationship building, and not just building those relationships, but friendships too. And I have a lot of those people that were in my life, they're still in my life, that I just met through Tinker, And then about almost 2 years ago, I've been in this role. I became the community engagement manager. And so it's been a lot of fun. It's definitely different. It has its challenges, but I have such a great team. They're all supportive, and we all have each other's backs, and I truly appreciate it. And I'm grateful to be in this position, and I do plan to stay at the credit union. I love it here, and I want to grow here and just eventually keep moving on up, and just learning all things TFCU.
Well, Sarah, you've told us a little bit about your background, and I know you have a background with financial institutions. Do we ever get the opportunity to work with other credit unions? Kind of a leading question here on any events in the community.
Yeah, so there are quite a few events that we do work together, because credit unions are not for profit, but they're also really good about working together. Not everything's a competition, which is why I love this industry, because we have so many neighboring credit unions that, if something doesn't work for us, maybe it works for them, or they send us stuff too. So, vice versa, all the things. But yeah, we have a big event called See You in the Park every year. It's so much fun. It's at Scissortail Park, and they bring in an artist, Usually it's country music, which is not right up my alley. But that's always a lot of fun. And all the credit unions are coming together from Oklahoma. I think there's like usually about 10 to 15 of them. And they sponsor it. They bring in this artist and they have a big concert. And there are thousands of people coming out because it's a free event to the community. And we're doing it again this year, and I'm sure we'll continue doing that in the future. That's one that we do every year, and it's been a huge success, and other states are following suit. And so it's kind of exciting when you start something, then you see others doing it. This year they did See You on the Run for the Oklahoma City Marathon. They ran, and they had I don't run, so there's that. But we had 2 teams, and there was different teams. I think there was probably about 8 teams maybe from different credit unions, and TFCU won first. So we were excited about that. We do have a little bit of competitiveness when that does.
You were on the sideline saying, go, run, go.
Yeah.
Faster.
I'm like, y'all run faster. I'll be over here eating my donut or something, But that was a lot of fun just seeing, being able to see them collaborate and come together for an event that was for a greater good, a greater cause at that. All the proceeds went back to the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon. And they really enjoyed that. Those people that love running. Not for me, but that was just another thing that we collaborated. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that we do together. It's unique because you're not going to see banks doing that,
Right.
You're going to see credit unions coming together to support nonprofits or support other, local things that we can, initiatives that we can be a part of. But you're not going to see that everywhere. So it's pretty unique.
You've mentioned See You in the Park. We've talked about the state fair. What are some other annual events that we try to participate in?
Yeah, so we do Savatron's birthday party, which is our mascot, and my team oversees that. Savatron is a robot and a lot of fun. Kids love Savatron.
Yes, they do.
Yes, love Savatron. So that's something we do every year to celebrate Savatron, is have a big birthday party, and we've had it at the Myriad Gardens before. We're having it at the Dodger Stadium. Just kind of moving it around just so, to cater everyone's needs and have a lot of fun and try different things. So that's been a lot of fun. Of course, we've talked about member appreciation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then we have the Heritage Club tours and events that we do every year. That's for our 62 and older members. That's a lot of fun. We go to Myriad Gardens and they do hands-on activities. And then we also take them on bus tours and they get to go there. I mean, they go all over the place. They went to like Buc-ee's and Babes and Sam Moon. I mean,
I can't wait to be 66.
they do a lot of
Right?
fun events with them. So those are things that we do every year, year over year. We've started a new fraud awareness event that is a lot of fun. It's a senior fraud awareness event, and we had over 100 people for our first year, and that was really fun, and they want us to do it again, so we're going to do it again.
Yes.
So we just have a lot of year-over-year events that we do, and our members keep telling us they want us to keep doing them. So until they get burnt out or tired of it, we'll just keep doing them because they've been a huge success for us.
Good. Tell us a little bit about the On Us events and how you guys go about picking when and where those happen and what they are.
Yeah, so we do some On Us events where basically we're the credit union. It's on the credit union. So we'll pay for, say, like a coffee or a cookie or, a sweet treat, something small, but it's just an act of kindness, a good gesture that people love that. When you're going into a store and you weren't expecting for someone to pay for it and you're like, wow, that's almost like when you're at the Starbucks line and someone pays for your coffee.
Yes.
The part, you just keep it on. How dare that person stop that? No, I'm just kidding. Actually, it's probably like
You messed up there with
it's funny, but no, we do them all over the state. We do, we've gone and done car washes where we do the car washes and pay for those, and we just try to think of what's like a local spot. We try to do them at very local, like mom and pop places where we can also support a small business while also driving traffic and also driving brand awareness about TFCU and the credit union. Those are so much fun. I will tell you, I think that's my employees' probably favorite events, is just being able to put smiles on those people's faces. And we recently did one at a nutrition spot. That was a lot of fun. That sold out within an hour.
I was going to say that. I saw pictures from that one. It was packed.
Yes.
Absolutely packed.
Yeah, it's funny because like the moment you put it on social, people are like flocking. I mean, snow cones, that's always a big hit too. So yeah, we just do it at all kinds of different places all over the state and the markets that we're at. And, again, large or small, rural, we'll find somewhere to go pay for somebody's cookie or, snack or snow cone. It's a lot of fun and we love doing it.
I feel like I'm kind of cheating the system here because I look at Sarah's team's calendar often. But so
like free tacos there.
Well, not only that, but I feel like I know what you guys do. You haven't mentioned one of my favorites because I think it benefits so many people. Tell us about Shred Days.
Oh, yes. How could I forget Shred Days? So we host Shred Days 8 times a year. Typically not during too cold of weather. I feel like we do it during the heat of the summer. But, it's a Saturday morning from 8:30 to 11:30. We do different branches every year. We try to cover each branch within like a 2 or 3 year time span to try to, make it make sense to where everybody can get their shred in. People save shred for years.
Oh, I have probably boxes at my house right now that I need to take somewhere.
Yeah, we have people that are like, I've just been waiting for this day, And I will say our Midwest City branch, people are lined out the parking lot. It is a long process and a long wait, I would say, because they're in line for a long time. They start piling in there probably at 7:30.
Wild.
I know, it is wild, but it's a lot of fun. They enjoy it. And
totally free.
Yeah.
Just come out, get rid of your stuff safely.
Yeah, I think it's up to 3 boxes they can bring.
That's awesome.
And if you want to get back in line and do your other boxes, we'll let you.
Go back home real quick.
Yeah, we've had that happen before. They'll be like, I didn't know if I could bring more. And we're like, go back home and grab them and bring them back up here. Yeah, we'll take them. So, like you said, it is free. It's a community event. We do 8 a year. And you can find a lot of our events on tinkerfcu.org. If you scroll to the bottom and click events, you can find a lot of our community events, such as our member appreciations, our list of shred days, things like that. We try to update those in a timely manner so people are able to participate and know about it and block it off on their calendars.
I love that.
That's awesome.
That's where we can find ones that you've scheduled. What if I have a community event and I want TFCU to be a part of? What's the best way for someone to go about that?
Yeah, so they can email our team. So if they go online again to tinkerfcu.org, and then there's a link on there for our community engagement team, they can go on there and there's an email that they can send us and ask us about community events. And if we could, they ask us all kinds of things. Can we sponsor this? Can we, send promo, different things like that. Obviously, we figure out what's a good fit for us and we get back to them within usually 24 to 48 hours if it's not like on a weekend or something.
Right.
But that's how they can do that. And reserve the mobile ATM unit as well.
Yes.
That's awesome. I mean, all these details are so crucial within the community, right? Like all these little details that we might not know about, right? So with that being said, if you're a listener, the more you share, the more we grow together. See you next time at the You plus TFCU podcast.